Alright, so now we're going to talk about what we call angle relationships. Now, what we know what an angle is that if you have two sides, alright, so let's say you have a side like this and they're connected like this, right, we know that they make what we call an angle, which is going to be right here, okay? So there's varying degrees of angles, so maybe, you can have if a line comes down here, that'd be a new angle. If the light comes down here, then that will be a new angle, okay? So what we want to do is we want to talk about different types of angles here, okay? So let's start with a problem. Okay, so these are exactly straight lines that I drew, but just pretend that they are. Alright, so we have this angle A and this angle B. So we want to know what type of angles these are. We want to know if they're complementary, supplementary, vertical, or adjacent. So the choices are complementary, supplementary, vertical, and adjacent. The answer is it's vertical. They're vertical angles, okay? And the way you can tell is if you have two lines that cross each other, and if you're comparing the opposite angles. And so two lines that cross each other, and then when you compare the opposite angles like this, then it's what we call a vertical angle. Okay? Let's move on to another one. Let's try this one. So you have a straight line going down, and then we have a little segment here. So we have angle A, angle B. So we want to know if it's either complementary, supplementary, vertical, or adjacent. Okay, so the answer is supplementary. Now the reason why is because if we compare if we just have like straight line like this, right, by definition a straight line is 180 degrees. Okay, so even if you divide up into two angles like such, like an angle A and an angle B, when you add angle A plus angle B, it should equal the angle of the line, which is going to be equal to 180 degrees. So supplementary angles are when they should equal 180 degrees. Let's try one more. Actually, let's try two more. We have two lines, right? It's going to be what we call a right angle. And we have another line. Alright, and we have an angle A and angle B. Now what we want to know is it complementary, supplementary, vertical, or adjacent? In this case, it's complementary. The reason why is that if you have what we call a right angle, right, by definition, a right angle is equal to 90 degrees. So if you have like another line like this that divides these into two angles, whatever these two angles are, if you add them together, alright, it should equal 90 degrees. That's why it's complementary. Okay, now let's try something else. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to have parallel lines. Now parallel lines are lines that theoretically and technically do not intersect each other, right? They're parallel, that's what it means. However, you can have lines that cross both of these parallel lines. So the technical term we call is a transversal. So right here, this would be a transversal. This would be a transversal. Alright, so we have an angle A here and an angle B here. Okay? We want to know if these angles are alternate interior, corresponding, or alternate exterior angles. Okay. So in this case, this is what we call corresponding. And the reason why is that if you look here at angle A and angle B, when you cross by a transversal, they will be the same angle. So angle A and angle B will be equal.